Hello everyone, and welcome back to Cracka's Creations Network. My name is Jared, aka Corn-Fed Cracka 93, and today I'm here to talk about the brand new Star Wars movie, The Force Awakens. Obviously we got some Star Wars Battlefront in the background, using Han Solo just playing one of the hero battles here, just to kind of it relates to the review that I'm doing, so I figured I'd play that in the background. So, I got some things to talk about today, and there is spoilers, so if you haven't seen the movie, please do not watch any further than this right here. I would wait until I actually got to the spoilers, but I'm afraid I'd forget, so if you have not seen the movie and do not want it spoiled, please watch this video later after you've seen the movie, and you can comment on it or whatever you want to do, then that way I don't spoil it for you. So, spoilers coming. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Alright, spoilers. So, as far as the movie goes, there is character changes, obviously, how the characters have evolved throughout the years. This is supposed to be 30 years in the future from the last movie, last Star Wars movie, so, you know, obviously some things have changed. There's a new villain, so I want to get a little bit into that. First, I want to say that, you know, despite the characters in the main cast being older, I mean, from the likes of Leia, Luke, Han Solo, Chewbacca even, C-3PO, all of those normal characters. I could be leaving somebody out, but pretty much that's the basic cast, or what relates to the age changes and everything. They did a great job. I mean, when you first see them, you're like, holy crap, you know, these guys are a lot older than they were. Especially for me, I haven't been a long time Star Wars fan. I actually just watched the originals. We went and watched this new one, and I now want to go get the prequels to watch it. I know it's probably a sin that I haven't seen those, but it's okay because I plan on watching them, and I am a new Star Wars fan. So, yeah, the character changes from the originals, definitely a huge difference, but not a big thing. When you first see them, you're like, holy crap, you know, these guys are old, like I said before, but once you actually start getting in the movie, it doesn't even matter anymore. These guys are still great. These guys are still the people you remember from the originals. So it's kind of cool just to see how they've evolved and to see how the story's even evolved. So here's a huge spoiler. Kylo Ren, the main villain in this story. I should say there's a Supreme Emperor, but Kylo Ren is basically your villain, your main villain in this whole story. He is Han Solo and Leia's son. So, having known that, I'm assuming, because they did say somewhere in the story that Luke actually trained in an academy. So what I'm assuming, and they actually did state that somebody went rogue, Luke thought it was his fault, and he actually vanished after everybody started killing Jedis, after the Empire started killing Jedis and everything. So Luke actually leaves. You don't see him for almost the whole movie until the end. But I'm thinking that the one that went rogue, what they mean by that is that's Kylo Ren, the main villain, which is Han Solo's son. And apparently Luke blames himself for having had that happen. Another thing I want to talk about is BB-8. BB-8 versus R2-D2, how they relate, how they're different. Definitely BB-8 looks a lot... I don't know how to say this, because Star Wars in itself is, you know, futuristic. But it's our time modern for BB-8 to look as futuristic as he does now, as opposed to R2-D2. He doesn't have any more gadgets than R2-D2 does, but he does look more modernized for our time period for a futuristic droid, if that makes sense. R2-D2, obviously, you gotta love R2-D2 still, just because he was the original droid. But definitely BB-8 is a cool installment and a cool new droid to look forward to. I definitely want the app-controlled one that has voice commands. It just has an own personality of its own. I've been watching videos of that. So I definitely want to get the new BB-8 droid, the one that you can control with your iPhone. So I'll do a review of that if I do happen to get it. It'll be a while, but I want to talk about some new characters. Rey and Finn. I believe Rey is a Jedi. Now, here's the controversial part. Finn actually fights with a lightsaber in the movie. He actually goes up against Kylo Ren, and Kylo Ren injures him, so he goes kind of comatose at the end of the movie. And Rey's like, you know, we'll see you when you wake up and everything. And Rey you actually see use the Force. So Rey is definitely a Jedi. Finn, I'm not so sure. He might be, and he might not just pick up on it as quick as Rey does. Because Rey actually uses the Force. Uses a Jedi mind trick on a Stormtrooper. Which, that alone is controversial in itself. I've heard good and bad comments about it, because the Force was always took time to learn. And it felt like she picked it up really quick. But that might be something that Disney is doing different with the Star Wars series, that, you know, the Force is kind of embedded in these guys and actually comes more natural. Which is how I would assume that it would be, but obviously isn't how the original movies first did it. It took a long time for Luke to actually get used to using the Force. To move right along here so I can get everything in before this clip is up. The visual effects. Definitely a leap and bounds above the original, which you have to expect, being, you know, the original's coming out, the first one in 78, I believe, or 77, and nowadays. But obviously, super cool what they can do with visual effects now. Obviously, most of it was filmed the same way the originals was, but obviously the CGI and stuff has gotten a lot better. So yeah, the visual effects are definitely so cool. The audio, watching it in the movie theater, was amazing. Added to the thrill of watching it. And to get on to my last couple topics here, I mean, this is a big spoiler. If you haven't really seen it, this one's going to come to a shock to you if you are watching this. Han Solo does die. Or, I can almost guess he dies. I don't know, that could be controversial too. I could see them somehow bringing him back. I doubt it. I definitely think he is dead. Kylo Ren being his son. Han Solo went out to try to talk him out of being in the dark side and tried to actually bring him home, saying that he missed him. And Kylo Ren kind of almost suckered him in a little bit and said, you know, there is one thing I need your help with. And he ends up stabbing Han Solo through the chest with a lightsaber, and conveniently Han Solo falls off the little walk bridge there into an infinite pit type thing. So Han Solo does die. Very sad. There's another Death Star in this movie, but all in all, I rate this movie as a 9.5. So thank you guys for watching. We'll see you next time.